Hello.
Yes, we are here.
We
Sorry.
are. We made it.
We made it.
We're still alive.
I know I hate myself for doing things like this, but on my I want to excuse myself this time because I had pretty much everything prepared for tonight's episode. Now you start getting yeah, okay, perfect. You're
Yep.
back now. So what I'm saying is I almost have everything
I'm back.
in place. All right, that was my thought that
hmm
I
hmm
had everything ready and set up, and then my computer stupidly decided that it was time to run an update, a major update, and everything
Nice.
messed up. Anyhow, we're here.
That's
I'm
how
happy
it's
to be
done.
here finally. Like, yeah. Breathing. Thank you. And thank
You did
you,
it.
beautiful people out there, for being here, supporting
Yes.
us, and waiting for us. I know it's very important for you this
hmm
time on the
hmm
day. Like, you've been waiting for this time. So we really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for being
Yes. Thank you.
here. Anyhow, how are you, my friend? How are things going for
It's
you?
it's been it's yeah. Every day it's been long days, never ending. The
Adult
grind is
ending.
real. I'm excited
Adulting,
for
they call.
summer.
So you're planning, and well, I, I will say that today I was also start planning some, vacations or
hmm
days off for the
hmm
spring break and potentially for summer as well. We're not,
Nice.
100% sure yet, but that is our major hope. This is the thing that we are hanging right now to survive. The hope
Yes.
to have
The
some
hope.
days off, but
The hope.
hope, hope, like in Star Wars, new hope,
The
a
new
new hope,
hope.
a new hope. Well,
Exactly.
how are the things been doing for you, my friend? In terms of gaming, I know,
In terms of
you
gaming,
in
in terms of
terms
gaming,
of
I
gaming.
think it's been better. I've been playing the Seventh Continent, and I
No.
lost again. So
Mm,
the first trial, I was learning, and I just died. The
no
second time,
surprises
I
here. Hmm.
understood how it's played. So I was surviving. However, I think that that game is literally a continent. Like you can explore so much. Like that, the world is massive, but because it's a
Yeah,
survival game, you cannot just take forever. If you keep
yeah.
exploring too much, you're eventually gonna die. So you need to focus on the objective, and the way the game is played is that you start with you choose a course or like a riddle that you need to solve, and that's how you win the game. And in my case, I chose the first one, which is the one that they suggest you start with. And it gives me like a map. And I
Okay.
was so close to reaching the end of the map when I died.
So that was
Yeah.
so the game basically is like a goal system. Like you have to go through scenarios or things like that, and then if you
No,
complete the
it's an
scenario,
open world. It's an open world. You can do whatever you want.
oh,
You can do whatever you want. But what's interesting is that even though it's the same map, every time you play it's the same map, it
hmm,
changes a little bit. Like
okay,
there are certain locations where so the way the map works is that you have it's made up of cards. So it says like, oh, if
yeah,
you want to go to the east, you take card number 167, and then next one is
okay.
250, and so on. But some locations have two cards. So like
Oh, okay.
location 180 has two cards, and when you encounter two cards or more, you shuffle them and open one.
Mm,
So it gives replayability to the same map, because one run through that area might be covered by snow and might be more difficult to go through, and the
mm,
next run through it might not be.
okay.
So it's very very interesting. Yeah, and it's
So
really good.
it's a story-driven game. Like no,
No, no,
no.
no, because
Interesting.
it's the
No.
exploration part. It's kind of events, but you shuffle in a deck of event cards, and that's what you get. So it's kind of like random, but it does tell
Mm,
you a little bit of a story. Um, but no, I wouldn't say it's story driven. I think it's definitely like just open world adventure
okay.
survival.
Okay.
Definitely
Mm,
survival. But I'm playing again because I'm hooked. And I'm like, I'm gonna make it. I'm just gonna focus, just make it straight to the objective. Don't go exploring the rest of the map. Just focus for it, and I'm gonna see if I can finally win the game, because the game comes with like 4 courses, and I like
Mm.
to at least beat one.
Okay. Yeah, that was the question I was about to ask. Like, what is the end of the game? Like, is there any,
So the rule
major?
book, the rule
Uh,
book says that you will know when you win. That's all it says. It doesn't say how. It just says, here is the course with a clue, and you will know when you win. It'll be
uh,
clear. That's all I know. Oh, I don't know if I'm asking people if we lost you or you guys lost me. Internet.
that's the worst thing I ever learned. Oh,
Are you
something
back?
happened.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. I think. Sorry, like
Okay.
I said, it's been an awful some technical issues here. But
It's
so
all good.
anyway, we're back. Nothing happened.
Yeah, so I
Nothing.
don't know. I don't know.
Um,
All I know is
mhm.
that, maybe if I reach the end of the map, I will win. But maybe when I get there, they'll be like, this is step 1 of 5, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's for some reason we are experiencing some really bad connection issues here.
Mm,
We do apologize for that. Is I
yeah.
mean, uh, these kind of things could happen from time to
Unfortunate.
time. Unfortunate things happen. It's technical issues, but yeah,
Unfortunate series
we
of
hope that these
events.
things resolve. If not, I mean, just hanging around and wait for the best. Anyway, we'll
Yeah.
continue talking about the games, and yeah,
Yeah.
you were talking about the rule book is interacting with you, saying like you will know exactly when the game will end.
Yes.
Basically,
Yeah, that's all the
understand.
rule book tells you. Like, it doesn't want to spoil the
Mhm.
puzzle. So
So
I still don't know.
it's not like you are opening new boxes or content as you are playing more and more, or is that kind of game
No,
like
I mean, I think
no?
what it does is that the continent, the map, the world is very big, and a course that you choose, it makes you want to like explore a specific area of it, but nothing stops you from going a whole different route. Like, you can do whatever
Okay.
you want. Nothing is really
Mhm.
off limits. Um, so it's
Ha-
right.
have you ever played video games? Tough
So
question for you, but
there,
but
yeah, a while ago.
I I'm actually also playing the not the newest, but one of the most recent Legend of Zelda games.
Yeah.
And pretty much all those kind of games are exactly as you described. You
Yep.
have like some main quest, and the map is at the beginning is very short, and then as you is playing more, you're going to explore
That's
and discover more lands and stuff. And like I said, nothing stops you to go in a specific direction. It's wide open, so you can explore whatever you want, and then
mhm.
complete
Yes.
missions. And my question here is it worth for you as a player in the seven continent to go and like take different paths in order to explore and maybe gain some new rewards or things like that, or it's just like for fun?
Uh that's what I was doing in the previous run, in my second attempt. But
Hmm.
the so but the game really has like a timer, right?
Okay.
A survival timer. So like, if you take too
Mm.
long, you will die. Like,
Oh
there's no
my
way to
God.
make it, as far as I know, there's no way to make it infinite, because as I talked in a previous episode, your life is a
Hmm.
deck of cards that it's like, I don't know,
Okay.
like
Hmm.
maybe 30, 40 cards. Um,
Hmm.
and you need to use those cards to take action. So like, you go through your deck, um, but during in the map there are areas where you can hunt and
Hmm.
get food, and the food pretty much lets you put cards from your discard pile back into your deck,
Okay.
and so that's how
Okay.
you keep yourself alive.
Hmm.
Um, but those hunting places are like spent. they're spent. So like you cannot harvest
Okay.
them forever. Eventually, you will run out of
Okay.
resources. So that's why, because of that, you might not make it like forever. You need to like, you have a timer really. Uh, but who knows? Like really, I don't know what the whole map of the continent looks like. I'm
Hmm.
probably there's a picture of it on the internet somewhere, but I don't want to spoil myself because it's really really cool to like um open a new area and oh my god, there's like snow here, there is a cliff here, there is
Right.
an ocean,
Right. Right.
there is
Yeah.
a
Hmm.
cave and you can go in it and like and then I know it's really really good because you can also
Mm.
craft items that help you do
Wow.
certain
Yeah.
actions better. So
Hmm.
it's like it's amazing. It's pretty good.
Nice. Nice.
I'm
Uh,
glad I'm giving it a try.
you talk about the game, and truly picture myself playing the Zelda games. It's like, yeah, you
Yeah,
can just walk
you can
around the world
craft
exploring, craft
and
things,
so
and
you can
yeah,
interact with things. Sometimes you
you
encounter
see, yeah,
something
yeah,
and you're like, oh, do you want
nice.
to attack it or do you want to like talk, you know?
So,
And you can choose.
do you see, or have you ever think of this game differently in a fashion like this game maybe actually could be implemented in a video game or things like that because it sounds
um
like that.
yeah, I think
There's some
so,
games.
for
I think
sure.
we once talked about these kind of games
Yeah,
that there will be a better iteration or implementation if they were video games instead of tabletop games.
yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, sounds like you are really enjoying the game right now, the way you are
Hmm.
playing and discovering. Um, but yeah, maybe I mean I have this picture right now in my head of the game being played as a video game. So I don't know. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
and then you get hours of entertainment. Like
Mm-hmm.
every like last my last attempt, I think I spent like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know 6 to 8 hours. It wasn't in one sitting. I'll play one
Yeah,
hour
yeah.
at night and then
Okay.
come back the next night, and it's really easy to pick up. Like there is nothing right. There's not a lot of setup. Setup is very
Mm-hmm.
small. It's a cooperative game. Like you could play it with more people for sure. I don't know
You've
how.
been playing solo
I've
or
been playing solo. Yep.
okay.
And it lets you do like true solo, like one character only on the board.
Okay.
You can play
Okay.
up to
Okay.
four characters.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Um,
Oh, cool. Cool. Cool.
yeah, no, but
Nice.
that's about it. That's all I have. Next weekend,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be having Frosthaven weekend, so I will be playing definitely a lot of games.
Okay.
Oh
Not
yeah,
not not only Frosthaven, but other
not
games.
only Frosthaven, but the day
Okay.
before we play other games for sure.
Nice.
And
That's
we've been
cool.
obsessed with
Cool.
Heat, so hopefully we get to play some Heat.
Oh my God. That's the game I really need to have a copy
I
on
know
my shelf. I only been playing on
it is
VGA so
great.
far. I've been
It
thinking
is
a
great.
lot, and I have decided like, is this the
You
correct
deserve it.
time to finally get it? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
You
saying. And
deserve
I'm
it.
also saying the same thing to my wife, but I don't know. She says that food is more important at this moment than getting a new
That's
console.
okay. You can eat the four-player cards.
I know the cardboard. Cardboard.
But what about you, my friend?
I
How are
agree.
you? I know you've
Totally
been
agree.
having trouble with the computer and stuff, but how was your week? How was the weekend?
You know, it's just weekend so far was just getting lazy,
Nice.
lay down on my couch and enjoying the peace time with my kids. We
Mm-hmm.
had the chance to play a couple of games with them, but the reason I think, or the main reason why we felt very tired over the
Mm-hmm.
weekend was because we had a very long game night session on Friday.
Oh, what did
And
you
this is
play?
something that I would like to especially show up to you because
Show me.
I was able to finally play
You play
SETI,
SETI?
and now
Oh my
it's my
god.
review is online, so
It's
go check it
online?
out.
No
It's
spoilers?
live. It's also not spoilers. It's just sharing my enjoyment about the game. Man, I mean, I have played the demo
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
in some of the conventions last year. played a couple of rounds, but definitely
But
this is one of the games that you really wanted to get the whole experience. And by the whole experience, I mean a whole game in terms of from the explanation, try to resolve whatever question arise during the game, and then
mhm, mhm.
conclude the game. Uh, it was kind of like first time setup. I mean, there's a lot of components and stuff, but I think once you know exactly what you're doing and the pieces, how the pieces needs to be accommodated on the table, it doesn't have to be like a pain every time you set up the game. That's first thing.
Okay, yeah, because it
The
does look like
components
quite a bit
are
of setup.
neat. Yeah, it's a very large center board that actually has three different sections, like the planets board. Then you have the solar system board,
Hmm, hmm.
and then you have like also the upgrades, kind of like yeah, the board when you can get some upgrades and publicity track. So basically,
Hmm.
what you're doing here is, as probably most of our viewers knowing already, in SETI you are trying to play as an space agency that they are trying to reach some signals or some evidence of extraterrestrial life, and by exploring planets and sending some or through the views on the telescope and sending some signs out on the outer space,
Yeah,
and then with the hope to finally get evidence of life out there.
life.
But the thing is, the gameplay is just quite an experience, I would say.
Yeah,
um, it's
you play
definitely a
four
very
players.
4 players. It's definitely I will consider it's one of those games where you have to figure it out how to make much with just a few, because all the
Mm,
resources are very limited. And this is one of the things that I heard from my friends, my wife and my friends, that from the very explanation they thought like, oh, I think this game will be one of those when you have very limited resources, and I don't
hmm.
know what I'm going to do in order to uh, have a better engine that will allow me to do better. But
Yeah.
it's in fact a clever game because it is possible to do much with just a few if you know
Mm,
exactly how to play that. Yeah,
mm,
that's for sure. Because there is not a worker placement game when you go and get the resources just by placing a worker. No, you have to perform an action every round, every turn. And then on your turn, you have like the chance to perform one of four main actions, 4 or 5 main actions, and then you can have like multiple free actions. But there is no action that allows you to gain resources, like per se, like if you
so you
go
have
and do
to.
this
So it's
action, you
hard.
will
So you
get
have to
these
figure it out.
resources. No, you gain resources at the beginning of the game, and then every round is like when all the players have passed.
Hmm.
That is when all the players will receive income. So
Mm,
I mean, if you don't create like a better engine and create more or took more cards under your income uh, engine, then by the time it's a new round, you
hmm,
will have like a very limited resources. So I
mm,
think that's key on this game, that at the beginning of the game you should sacrifice some cards in your hand and create something planning for the future, because at the beginning of the game it's quite difficult, maybe the
hmm.
first 2 rounds, to generate a big amount of points, unless you have like a crazy combos, because that's another thing that I love about the game. You can
Hmm.
actually create crazy combos if you have the correct
Crazy
cards and the
combos.
correct. Yeah. It's a crazy combo thing.
Crazy
Uh,
combo.
the game has these these tokens that can indicate you once you reach 100 points and then 200 points. So
Mm,
I was like, man, this is one of those games where you are going to do a lot of points, right?
hmm. No.
And in fact, and indeed, no, I mean, I was able to make 170 something points, and I won the game.
Oh my god,
170 something, and I won
that's pretty high.
by a difference of 15 to 20 points. And
Okay.
I discovered as well that the main difference was because at the end of the game, if you target for the end goal games,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, the end game goals,
Yep.
say correct. But yeah, those goals at the end of the game will give you a lot of points if you
Mm-hmm.
successfully reach the goals by the end of the game. So it's
Okay.
something that you also need to take care and work for in order to get the most points at the end of the game that will give you like a bigger difference. So man, it's a lot of things happening in this game. I'm very excited even to talk about the game because I really like it, really like it.
Hmm.
It was a completely good experience in terms of I think this is one of the games that I recently been enjoying the most, you know,
Okay.
like in terms of what I was expecting
Mm-hmm.
against what I received, what I actually get as a gameplay. You
Okay. So
know,
you're satisfied.
so yeah, I was like the hype, totally worth it. I'm not
Mhm.
saying, I mean, also big thanks to CGE for sending the review copy, but this is
Nice.
nothing to do or relevant with the review copy or whatever. I have received a lot of games that are trash and other games that are really nice, and this one is
Mm-hmm.
top,
Stop.
really nice. Top notch, top
Top
notch.
notch.
Definitely a really, really nice game. And I will happily play with anyone who wants to play with me. I will take the challenge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's good to
So,
hear.
yeah, last thing again, I just today before
Logged
we
in.
entered this studio,
We went live.
I post my review about the game. Yeah,
Okay.
so the review is there. So go and check that out. So there's some
Nice.
pictures and comments about the game. So if you wanted to check it out. Anyway, so that's it. That's the main thing that I wanted to share about what I have recently played.
Good. That's I'm so jealous. SETI.
I
I still
know.
want to play. I saw a couple of reviews about it. I saw that there is a different alien that you encounter on the game, and it can a different alien race. So which one? I was wondering which one did you get to see?
That's other thing. There is five different, let us say, factions
Yeah.
or type of alien life that you can encounter at the end or during the game. So that's also part of the replayability of the game.
Hmm.
Um, so that's also another thing. I don't know. Now that you mentioned, thank you for bringing it in
Yeah.
because um, there is some conditions that the players collectively needs to meet in order to discover the alien life, right?
Right.
So you have to investigate like three different types of evidence in order to flip over the alien board, and then when the alien board is discovered, then a
Hmm.
specific setup is need to be set on the table, like
Hmm.
some cards, special tokens, etc., etc. And basically, what is happening is now every time you gain this type of evidence, then
Hmm.
instead of helping to discover the alien life, you are, you know, trying to acquire more points from that board, from that alien board.
From that specific
But
alien, they give you points for
exactly
different things according
from
to the
different,
faction.
exactly.
Which one did you
But
play?
here's
Which
what
one did you
it,
find?
it was the purple thing. I don't remember the name. It
The
was just a
purple thing.
purple thing.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it looked like shrimps. The tokens for this live form of life was like shrimps, little small shrimps.
Okay, I
So
love it.
no, it's really nice. But the thing is, because of that, the ones the alien board was discovered, the other player or we as the players were not enough motivated to go and discover the other alien race.
But
It was
oh,
like,
you can
okay,
discover more. I thought you can only do one.
two,
You can
two.
do two.
You, you,
Oh
you
my
can always do
goodness.
two. So
Wow.
if you already discover one, there is
Yep.
like, okay, there's a lot of points here in this board. Why do I need or to go for the other one that will just give me few points. So we
Yep.
never discovered the other alien race. It was like,
Mm,
mm, why do we need to, you know, contribute
you don't
to
get a
discover the
reward
other one?
for discovering.
Yeah, you have rewards, and the reward is every player who initially collaborate to discover the alien race will gain like specific bonus depending on the race. Like first, some cards, powerful cards
Hmm.
for that specific alien, um, for the specific alien race, and then if you have or the aliens have the specific, tokens or whatever. Yeah, there is definitely something, some rewards that will be given to the players who um,
Help.
help to discover the aliens.
Okay.
So that's the motivation, but at the same time, once you have one board already discovered, I think players, probably doesn't for them doesn't have any sense to go and try to discover the other one. I'm pretty
Mm,
sure if we went to that and tried to discover the other ones, probably we'll have, more spaces and ways to score points, but we'll never
mhm.
know. We'll never know. Probably
Right.
next time we'll
Next
try
time.
to. Next time we'll
I'm
see.
guessing it looks like a long game. How long was your?
It
Oh, you
was a
did
long
mention it
game.
was long. Wait, hey, you finished,
The
right?
the box says that it's 40 minutes per player.
40 minutes per player.
So that means yeah, 40 minutes per player. So if the box was correct,
Mm-hmm.
um,
That was correct.
it will be like what 2 hours? No, 3 hours.
2 hours and 40
Yeah,
minutes.
almost three. Almost, yeah, almost 3 hours. But we started the game around 10:30, things like that, 10:30,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended at 3 a.m.
Nice.
3:30. So it was
So
like
three
five
hours and
hours.
a half.
No, no,
4 hours and a
we
half.
started at yeah. Well, it started with the explanation 10:30, so we
Right.
actually started playing by 11, almost 11:30,
Damn.
things like that.
Nice. That sounds
Um,
like a fun Friday night.
yeah, yeah, it was like a very long game, especially with my friends. One of my friends that he takes his time, analyzing and trying to,
Yeah.
do the best on every of his turns. I mean, I don't blame him. I do the same thing pretty much. But yes, there's a lot of things that you can actually
Mm-hmm.
do and ways and try to discover this puzzle of actions that you can perform with the cards and with the things that you have, the resources that you have. It's very
Yep.
clever. I really like it. Really, really like it.
Oh,
Yeah. So you're right on being jealous.
yes. That's amazing. Well, I'm glad that
Anyway,
you got to play it.
that's it. That's it.
The
And
big
with
one.
that, I think it's time to move on to our main topic of tonight, which
Let's
is
do
we're
it.
going to talk about what is the best of the best. What we consider we must have in our board games collection. We
Yes.
know that there is a lot of games right now in our shelves that
Mhm.
we probably is not that we don't like them, but there are
Mhm.
some that we definitely consider they are worth to be there. If in a catastrophe all our other games disappear, we want to keep some, there like forever. So we
Forever.
wanted to hear that. We wanted to know about that. We received a couple of comments about the people, sharing their thoughts about what they consider is or are the games they think
Nice.
should be essential in collections. But we'll go and start with you. So you're going to
With
tell us
me?
now, yeah, of course,
Wow.
what are the
Uh,
games you consider essentials in the collection? What every player
essential.
must have,
What every player
and
must have.
why?
Well, I wasn't sure
Why?
about like what every player must have, but that was more about what I should have, what my
Of course, but
collection
you
must
are
have.
you are a big influence on the
Oh,
people out there. So whatever you say
wow.
is law out
That's
there.
a
So they
that's a
follow
nice
you.
thing
They
to
follow you.
say. I don't think people agree, but so I am big fan of
Mhm.
big heavy games. I love the more components and the longer the rulebook, the more excited I am to play it. However,
Okay.
I know not
Okay.
I am the minority here. I don't think most people like heavy games. Most people, especially if you're trying to bring people into the hobby, you probably want to start them with something more approachable. So, and there's also,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
occasions where you have a big group of people. So all this to say that I think a balance in the board game collection is needed.
Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Agree.
I think having some party games, at least some party games that you enjoy, or in this case that I enjoy, will
Mm-hmm.
be nice. I
Mm-hmm.
tend to like party games that are more like, thinky, kind of like thinky, or like luck, or like bluffing, or like I'm not too fan of I'm not too big of a fan of like humor based party games.
Okay.
Just
Mm-hmm.
not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really uh enjoy them, so I don't want to have them in my
Mm-hmm.
collection. So that would be a no. But bluffing and lying and like bidding and dealing, those party games I like. So party games for
Give us
sure.
an example. Give us an
An
example of one
example,
of
oh
the
my
games.
god, so
Yeah.
many good ones. uh all
Yeah, me
the
too.
ones from what's it called,
I don't know. You tell me.
the Dark City series. So you can think of Deadwood. You can think of
Okay. Mm.
um
Uh,
Tortuga. What's the other one?
Salem. Salem.
Salem.
Salem.
Yep. Yeah. There is the other
Uh,
one
okay.
from Bristol.
Yeah.
Bristol's so good. Bristol's so good.
Bristol. That's correct. Yeah. All the book.
Yep, all the
Um,
book games. Those are great.
book games.
It
Yeah.
goes up to like, I don't know,
Hmm.
8 players, 7 players,
Yeah.
and
Most of
they're a
them.
little bit
Yeah.
like between medium, like
Hmm.
between light game and party game, I think, because they do have a couple more rules to it. If you wanted
Right.
more towards party game, then I will say like Cockroach Poker. I played it the other day. It
Yeah.
was
Oh,
great.
yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. I like it. It's
It's
very
really
fun.
good. Yeah, it's pretty mean, but
Very
it's
fun.
great. Uh, Spicy is
Do you
great
think?
too.
Do you think that kind of game like Cockroach Poker lies
Oh my.
into the humoristic games? Or it's more like a bluffing. I understand that it's more like a
It
bluffing
is.
game, but at the same
It
time, it's
definitely
like
is.
you can. The only time I played the game,
Uh huh.
man, it was a blast. It was a lot of laughs all
Yeah,
around the table. It's just really
it's
really
really
nice.
good.
That's
It's
my
very nerve wracking too.
yeah,
For the people that haven't played Cockroach Poker, you're playing to make one player lose. That's the
yeah.
point of the game.
Hmm.
You're trying to not lose. As long
Hmm.
as you don't lose, you're a winner, pretty much. So then
Yes.
it's kind of hard because at some point somebody's closer to losing, so other people are like piling on that person. Uh, but it's yeah, I can see that maybe it's not for everybody. They don't want to feel attacked like that, so maybe not. But it's really good. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
Or
I
Bonanza,
love
the
it. I
Beans
love it.
game. Bonanza, so
Mm.
good too
Mhm,
for
mhm.
dealing and doing deals with other players. Great.
Right, right, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Nice.
party
So
game.
that's for the party games.
Yes,
What
party
else?
games. You need some of that. Then you need some light games, of course. Some
Hmm.
medium short strategy games, kind of like think of like Azul, think of like
Hmm.
Sagrada,
Okay.
uh, maybe
The classics.
photosynthesis. Maybe it's a bit
Oh.
more medium because that's great, right? You
Mhm.
want to have photosynthesis and not evergreen. I mean, who will put that in
Oh my God. We're not gonna get in that dilemma again.
there? But yeah, I think
Okay.
having like also like a like a 6 player game that are light-ish or light medium. For example, one that I can think of right now, it's Wandering Towers.
Oh yeah.
So good,
Okay.
so good.
Wandering
Goes up to
Towers.
six
Nice.
players. Oh my god, great.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Um, you can also do like Survive the Island. You know,
Okay. Yeah. I
it's
got it.
also light, 6 players or 5, I think. Um, what else?
Hmm.
I'm not sure any other light. with 6 player.
Yeah,
Well,
but I get the idea, like medium.
he will
Go
be
ahead.
great. I think I don't know if it goes up to 6. I think you
No,
might
he
need the
is not
expansion,
that.
but it's a medium. That one's a medium. It's not
You
that
know
hard.
which one? I'm spoiling one of the game. I mean, spoiling kind of because I don't have the game.
Hmm.
I just have played the game once. I
Hmm.
love it, but I think this is a game that everyone should have for a party game, as a party game, and
Cyclades.
it will be a blast. Like, part of Cyclades. That I'm pretty sure it will be a blast every time you take it out from the shelf and play
Yeah.
with any kind of like gamers or not gamers.
Okay.
It's ready, set, bet. If
Oh,
you
Ready
play
Set
ready,
Bet.
set, bet,
Yes. Yes, I
it's
agree.
just like,
Another must have.
yeah, right.
Uh,
That's mhm.
oh man, so many good ones. So anyway, you want a good selection of light, good selection of medium, and then definitely like a handful of heavy games.
Mhm.
Think of like
Okay.
uh Anachrony, kind of like medium heavy. Their
Okay.
dominant species, uh Voidfall, that one's heavy for sure. uh
Okay.
for the handful of your friends that are like willing to sit down to play a 4-hour game, where their brains are gonna be burned. And of
Mhm.
course, I didn't mention about cyclists will be in like the medium heavy. But yeah, you want a handful of those, and then you need at least 2 campaign games. You need two
Two
campaign games.
campaigns.
Yes,
Wow.
do
So
it
why do you need two campaign games if you cannot
because you
finish
know
or even start with one?
you gotta do it. It's to build the pressure. You want a campaign legacy game because you have to experience it at least once, and
I mean,
that story you will remember it with your group forever. Like at the very least, I will suggest starting with like Pandemic Legacy Season Zero. Right, everybody loved that one, and it's great,
Gloomhaven.
especially. Well, Gloomhaven is if you're going all the way in. If you're committed, and you're like, we're gonna do this. Gloomhaven, go for it.
Mhm.
Uh,
Go for it. You'll get it. Mhm.
yes. But yeah, and of course you need like a good selection of solo games that you're interested in, or cooperative campaign that you
Okay.
can play solo. I think for me, I've been leaning
Uh-huh.
more towards story campaign legacy, kind of like solo games, instead of I don't know, non-campaign games that you can play solo, that have like solo modes.
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I guess I haven't really tried to do those kind of like playthroughs where you try to beat your score, right? Because those are the sort of things that you do with like solo mode, non-campaign games. Uh, and I'm more about like the story that the game gets to tell me. So that's why I tend to, if I'm gonna play solo, I prefer playing like campaign games, story driven. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so that would be the perfect board game collection. And I
So,
would say, I would put mostly, well, the way mine is right now is mostly medium heavy games. I would say like maybe, I don't know,
yeah, in
10
person, like,
10%, 10%,
uh-huh.
10% party games. I don't know,
Mhm.
like I do have quite a bit of campaign games, so I would say like 15%
Okay.
campaign games. So we're at that
Okay.
25, and then like I don't know, like 25% or 20% light games,
Mhm.
and then I'm missing 55. So we'll put like 20 heavy and 35 medium. I think most of my games are medium
Okay.
difficulty.
Okay.
But I do have a little bit of everything. Less of party games. I've been trying to select some so that I have them available.
Mhm.
Um, but I definitely have more big campaign games than I should have, because I went through a period where I was like, Kickstarters were coming out. Awaken Realms was throwing out amazing campaign games, and
Mhm.
yeah, I fell for all of that. and I
Okay.
still haven't been able to play them. And Seven Continents is actually one of
At
those.
some point, eventually, they will like have their time. They will
Yeah,
have their time.
I definitely slowed down with campaign games. I'm like, okay, you know what? If I'm able to play these ones, then maybe
Mhm.
I'll continue getting more. But for this time, I'll play what I have.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what about you?
Okay.
Yeah, I talked a lot. That's pretty much
No,
my
that's
what
fine.
I
That's fine.
recommend. That's my style.
That's I think that's the key here. That it depends on every player, their taste, and
Yeah.
also I think a very important thing here is how often you play with different groups of people. And by group of
Yes.
peoples, it could also include like playing with your partner or solo in this
Yes.
case. So how often you play this kind of game. So I think that's basically how you are going to build your collection. But in my case, I would like to share that also depends on if you have some little ones at home that are interested
Oh
in games.
yeah.
You wanted to have some
Kids.
handful, you know, handful games that can help you to spend some good
You
time with them, you know.
you can tell I haven't gone to that stage, but I think I fully agree with you.
Eventually you'll be
Yes.
there and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They also have
Yeah.
their own collection, but part of that collection as well has been built on my own taste, as a guidance, because
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
that's what I'm doing as a part, trying to educate them. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, I agree on that. That it depends on how often you play with other players or yourself,
Right.
or the the kind of people that, not the kind, but yeah, the people, the taste of the other people in terms of games. Um, so that's why, in my case, it's definitely necessary to have also two-player games specifically, or games that are specifically for two players, because
Oh yeah.
this is how we start playing games. It is in my case
Yeah.
with my wife.
Yeah.
Um, you know, just I think before the pandemic hit. Uh, there was a time when we started playing more and more games, and at some point it was like we had our collection of two-player games only.
That's
And
pretty cool.
I think we develop a taste for those games that are
Okay.
specific for two players and that doesn't require like a lot of explanation, a lot of setup in most of cases, and they are just like for a quick or not that complex game night, and we can even play two or even three games in night. So I mean, that was a couple of years ago. But even now, if we wanted to just have like a quick game, we can easily
Mhm.
just get one of those games, and that's it. Just start playing right away. And so that's why in my case I consider that it is essential to have like games like that. So in my case, games like Seven Wonders Duel or Radlands, or most recently Compile. I think those games
Ooh,
are
compile.
really good additions to your collection because they're like small boxes, mm,
Yeah. So
basically
player
card
game.
games in most of the games, except for Seven Wonders, The Lord of the Rings, because there are a lot of tokens and stuff. But
Hmm.
even that kind of games are in practical boxes, let's put it that way, that you can store wherever and then then just take it out from the shelf and play it anytime. So two-player games are essential in my collection, and I just gave you a couple of or some examples
Yeah, no,
of
I
the
didn't
games
think about that,
my
but
favorite
yes,
two players.
I think that's a great suggestion.
Then you mentioned like light medium games. I will call them like the first time player games, like in terms of probably people that would like to start get into the hobby, and you don't want to suffocate them with your the games that you like the most.
Yes.
You must have some games, introductory games for them,
Hmm. Hmm.
games that you also enjoy to play and explain. Because in my case, I will never ever have a Catan in my collection. So because even with
No.
this
Oh
very
my god.
no.
That's
So
terrible.
no way. There is no way.
No
So
way.
um,
Not even Catan Junior.
except Catan Junior. Yeah, good, good. I was about to point that out because that is a very, in my opinion, I think this is a very uh, most interesting game than the original one. And
Okay.
but anyway, games that are like a getaway games for other players,
Mm-hmm.
that are just being tracked for something that they seeing somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
you just want to play around with other with your friends that doesn't play games that often, or they're not that interested in playing more complex game. I think you need some on your collections, and your
Mm-hmm.
collection that you will be able to explain and at the same time enjoy playing and explain. So
Mm-hmm.
in my case, games like that, uh, thinking of the classics like Ticket to Ride or things like that. Instead, I
Mm-hmm.
found some replacements like Sunrise Lane. Sunrise Lane, in my case, is the
Oh
replacement for
yeah.
Ticket to Ride, in which is more interactive way to play and just having some pieces on the board, like the intro for tabletop games,
Mm-hmm.
and games that requires more than cards. Um, you mentioned Azul. I agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Even Sagrada is also
Sagrada.
a game that is part of the slot. So yeah, things like that are definitely a must on collections for gamers that need
Must have.
something. They need something to show up when the time is, or the group of friends that you're trying to play with are not that familiar with other games or heavy games.
Yep.
And definitely party games. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of, like, I really not a big fan, and you know about that, not a big fan of party games. But recently, I discovered that even on party games, there are really good games that I also enjoyed a lot, and mostly are car games. So I
Mm-hmm.
will say that the party games that I enjoy the most, in my experience, because I play with a large group of people, are the trick-taking games. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of trick-taking games works perfectly for a large group of people, and people who really likes to not just play, you know, that easy. Maybe just add a little bit more on top of a regular card game. So
Mm-hmm.
I think trick-taking games like School King or a lot of Grandpa Beck's games. I had recently discovered another trick-taking game
Arcs.
from Oplay. No, it's called Prey. It's a really neat game, but it's not for a
Okay.
large group of people. But it's a trick-taking game, really, really nice. And the
Okay.
art is gorgeous. It's really amazing. So these kind of games, card games, are also necessary games, that portable games that you can just transport anywhere and just take it out from your pocket and start playing with a deck of cards. I think that's also essential in your collection. And
Yep.
finally, I think, yeah, definitely, I would say medium to heavy games. And in that lot, I would like to mention games like Everdell, Anachrony, Brass.
Mm-hmm.
I think these kind of games are for experienced players that are looking for the next step, or for what's next. I mean, I have played this,
Show
this,
me.
this. You
I want
get me
more.
in. Yeah, give
Give
me
me. Give
more.
me the
So this
pain.
is and this is like the way you slowly taking them up to the next level, and then at some
Mm-hmm.
point, then whoop, there's your
Boom.
first Lacerda, your first Lacerda. Come on, boom, there you
First
go.
I said, let's go.
So you also need a Lacerda in your collection.
I do.
That's for sure. But yeah, definitely, I think that's the way, in my opinion, how you build a good collection. In percentage, I think it depends on your taste and your audience. I would say,
It
like the
is.
audience, meaning the group of people that you normally play with. So in my case, I think most of my collection is built on medium to heavy games. Then I just have like maybe 20% of card games that are, party games, two-player games, solo. The less amount of games that I have in my collection are solo because I normally never play solo games. And it's very rare that
Mm,
I play a solo game. So
mm-hmm.
even when there are games that have their own solo module, I rarely play. So I think that's why there are not
That's fair.
many games for one player in my collection. And yeah, I think really heavy games like Lacerda like games, I only have like probably 5% of my collection, But
Okay, that's small.
those games, I consider, I will say the key, but really necessary in my collection because by the time I play those games is because I really have the chance to play and I enjoy
Mm.
the most.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
like
that's the
city,
thing. Heavy games don't they're difficult to get to the table. So if you have a lot of them, then it's even harder to get them all to the
exactly,
table.
exactly. That's the main reason. That's pretty
Yeah.
much the reason why.
Okay.
So yeah,
Pretty
that
cool.
that's that's how it's built, and I hope you know, and I not hope, but I believe that most of people have their collection based on their taste, not on the what I will call like just for having the most recent games or the
Right.
hottest games.
Yeah.
Think for real gamers or not real gamers, for gamers that are really into the hobby. Most of
Mm-hmm.
them are building their collections based on the way they play
Your
or the
hype.
fashion they like. Probably at some point,
A little bit
but
of
they
hype.
are trying to. And it's always mutating. It's always changing. I
Mm-hmm.
found myself renewing my collection in the last 2 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I thought it will never comes up, that I will never will ever sell a game of my collection. That happened already,
Mm-hmm.
and this is something that I think
What
is
did you sell?
necessary
What
at
did you
some
sell?
point. I don't remember, but yeah, a lot of garbage. And
Everdell?
I
You
will say,
sold Everdell?
no, how dare you? How dare you? That's
Oh my god.
no, but I saw I saw Farshore, which is Everdell
Oh right.
version.
Right.
Because
Okay.
I found it wasn't necessary, or it wasn't, it doesn't have a space in
Right.
my collection
Right.
if I have
Everdell
Everdell.
still king. Fair
I think
enough.
it's the same game, and I don't
Um
have any
quick question.
usage for that. Uh-huh.
If you were to guess the weight of your collection, like BGG gives board games a weight from
Hmm.
zero. Well, I don't know if it goes to zero, maybe one,
Hmm.
1 to 5, one being super light and five being
What I
super
think, yeah, I got
extremely
you.
heavy. So if you
Uh-huh.
were to average the values of all the games in your collection,
Woo!
what do you think the average will be? And here I think 2.5 is like pretty much like the
Yeah.
middle. And for
Hmm.
people that are not familiar with it, pretty much heavy games are like 3.8 to 4 and above. 4 and above are extremely heavy.
Right.
3.8 is
Yeah.
medium heavy. 3
Hmm.
to I think, yeah, from 3 to 4 is kind of like medium,
Hmm.
and then below, well, no, 2.5 to 3.5 is like medium, and then below 2, anything that's 1 or low 2, it's a light game. Party games are like ones with something. So
Hmm.
what do you think your collection has an average of, especially since you said that you only have like about 5% heavy? Then I'm guessing maybe
Hmm.
3 or 2.5,
Probably I was
2.8.
I was about to say like no, I was about to say like 2.9, pretty close to 3 will be the
The
average.
average.
And just because I think most of my medium to heavy games are in the range of 3.5 or
Okay.
so. So
Okay.
those are probably helping to, elevate the average on the number there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of games that are not probably 2.7, 2.9. Most of them, I think. It will be. It's a very tough question.
I know, I'm sorry.
Now you are making me doing or thinking on doing an sorting exercise next time. I will, accommodate myself. That is something that I really need to do sometime very soon.
I Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm always intrigued by these sort of questions. I wonder if BG. I'm guessing BGG doesn't tell you. Like, if you put
That will be
your collection,
great. That will be
I wonder
great.
if it tells you. Or you know what, BG stats maybe.
Probably. I mean, I don't do BG stats, but that's something that probably they will handle because they're called BG
Yeah,
stats. Oh, they should have
yeah.
it.
It would be cool
Should
if they
have it.
told you like how heavy
If not,
or what.
there is a feature you should be implementing right now. The
We're
average
gonna
of your
start
collection.
a new app.
Hmm. That's a very interesting question. Next time, I'll probably going to, create a list or at least enter the games that I consider must be on my shelf,
Yep,
and then I'll just do an average
an average.
calculation on them. And that's it. And
I'll
that's it.
tell you. I'll tell you
Hmm.
because I am intrigued by these sort of things. I can
What
tell
about you?
you.
What do you think? What do you think will be
So
a
I
good
used to,
number?
when I had more time, I used to have an Excel sheet with data from all the games I had, but that was the last time I updated it was 2022. So it's been a while.
Okay, no, yeah, no,
But I
no
have the
longer
weights in
valid.
there. I have the weights,
Uh-huh.
and I can tell you. I don't
You
know if I
found
want.
it?
I don't know if I want to show you this. Should I show you this? This is scary.
Yeah, yeah. Show me. Come
All
on.
right, let me see. Percent, is it percent?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Share
yeah. Uh-huh.
screen. Let's do window. Let's do this one. Sure. Here we go.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at this scary thing.
Wow, that's oof.
Yeah,
That's a very nerdy
I
thing. A nerdy thing.
can you tell?
Wow.
Can you tell I'm a yeah, I'm into these sort of things.
Not because
Anyway,
you have like how
so
many games do you have record here?
oh yeah, this will out me.
Huh,
Have 150, I think
it's not
55
that
because of
bad.
the title. Well, again,
Okay.
this was 2 or 3 years ago. This is 11/22, so 2 years ago and a couple months. Uh, anyway, this is the way as registered as whenever I register. I know that it changes as people vote on it. So if I
Uh-huh.
select all this and we get the average, it is 2.69.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that's
Hmm.
more or less what my collection is made of. I was
What is
expecting it
what
higher.
is the heaviest game you have here?
The heaviest
What is the
game,
heaviest game you have? I
the
saw
heaviest game I
four
have.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I saw
Well,
four
this is the
there.
wonderful thing
Four,
about
four. No, dominant species is a four? No way.
uh on Mars.
On Mars, okay, I got
On
it.
Mars,
4.66.
4.66.
That's totally worth it. Yeah,
Mage Knight,
I never played that
4.34.
one.
I got a couple of above four. All these guys. Well, not the first one.
Puritan.
That one doesn't have one, but
Again,
Anachrony.
dominant species four? Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean,
Be
I don't know if it has
serious.
changed. It's been 2 years, but I'm expecting it to be
Let's check
right
that out
about
now.
there.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah, we got a little bit nerdy here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right now, still dominant species is 4.04 in BGG as
it's
of
still.
today.
Oh wow. Well, there you
404.
go. It
Crazy.
hasn't changed.
No, no way.
But you
Now,
can
then
look right.
it will make me recalculate mine. You make me doing things like that because now I'm curious about how heavy is my collection in terms of the weight. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
got a
That's
couple of
crazy.
three, like all of these ones are threes, but I
Mhm.
feel like as you can see here, most of these guys are twos, and then I have like below two, I have like what 29 games are below two. So I think I definitely have more party light games than heavy games,
Mhm. Okay.
according to this. Which
And
I'm surprised. I wouldn't
you
have guessed that.
remember, you have got rid of any of these games?
No, they are
like in the last
all
three
right
games, in
here.
the last
Well,
three
to be fair, like
years.
you can see, I haven't added a lot of games that were new back
Uh-huh.
then.
Okay.
Frosthaven will definitely be pretty heavy.
Uh-huh.
Voidfall, very heavy.
Mm-hmm. Raw, pretty
ATO,
heavy.
Brass, super light. Salem, super light. Beast, medium. Captain Log's pretty fairly heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, here is a little bit of my nerdiness.
Nothing. Yes,
Happy to
exactly.
share it with you guys, and surprised to myself that I have a 2.69. I think I need to buy more heavy games.
More
A bit
force. More
more
force.
more force.
Yeah.
Give me all the five. Give
That
me a five.
it will be the next thing that you will consider when you wanted to
When I
buy
look
a
when
new
a
game.
new game is like,
Like, nah,
how is this gonna bring
how
my
heavy is this one? Yeah, no, it's 3.8.
I
Nah, pass.
you know what? I feel like Boyfall is super heavy. Let me see what the number
Is it?
is. It's
Let me see.
4.64.
Wow.
4.64. So does that beat
On Mars? No. Or yes?
oh on Mars back then was 4.66. Let me see.
It's
If it changed.
4.67. 4.67 right now in BGG.
Now, oh, so still
BGG.
still heavier by
Just
a little bit.
1.01
Yeah,
heavier
on Mars.
than Voidfall. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if I told this story here, but On Mars is the only game that I have put
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
table
we
and
know
then
the
put it
story.
back in the box.
Yep. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
one of the
maybe one
heaviest
day.
game that I have. I think one of the heaviest game that I
Yeah.
have. I've never played yet, and I is a Hegemony. A Hegemony lead your class to victory.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
heard
that
about the
one.
game?
Yes, yes. So good. We
I'm
tried.
scared.
You're
I'm
scared.
scared of that. I'm scared of that game.
No, it's
I'm scared,
fine.
man.
It's fine. We were gonna play it on one of
Have you?
my live playthroughs in the channel, but we didn't do it. It's kind of like, I
No.
think the hardest part is the asymmetry. It's kind of like Root, where
Uh-huh,
everybody
exactly.
has their own mini game.
Basically. Yeah,
But if
basically.
you can do
So
Root, you
I'm
can do
scared.
Hegemony.
I'm scared. No, I'm scared. I'm scared that if I
I'm
have to
scared.
explain this game to three different, I mean, including myself, to four different people, it will take me like 2 hour
Oh
explanation
no, you need to. They need
and
to.
then
They need
clarify.
to.
Yes,
They need to come prepared. There is no way.
exactly.
I feel like
That
that's
is
kind of
the
like how Root is played too. Like it's if you're gonna teach it for the first time, oh my god,
you
that
wanna end the hating the game. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But if you play with people that know how to play the faction, then it's great.
Hmm. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the Weather Machine is all. I mean, just thinking of the Lacerda games.
Oh man, we're gonna have to leave this for
Um,
a different topic. What do you think? A
yeah.
different
Yeah.
session where
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about the
Well, that's
heaviest
my heaviest
and the
game. That's
lightest
my heaviest game. Then it's 4.6. Then I'll just put it down, and then yes,
weather
we'll talk
machine.
about that in a separate. Yeah, Weather Machine. I
We played
I've
that.
discovered that this we played that live. Yes,
We
I
did.
discovered
It was heavy. It was
it was
really good.
heavy. Hmm. But
Oh
it's
man.
heavy. Oh my god. Good. Good to know.
It was heavy.
Good to know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, we got a new topic for a new episode. Good.
There you
Yeah.
go. You want to find out more about heavy games and light games because we didn't even mention like what's the lightest game in our collection. So
Mhm. The
well, you'll
heaviest
find
and the
out next time.
lightest. The heaviest
Exactly.
and the lightest. Cool.
Exactly.
Cool. Cool. Perfect.
Pretty awesome.
Anyway, let's wrap up this episode by the spicy part of the episode. What is the chismecito that you wanted to share with us? Tell
Chismecito.
me, please tell me you have something
No, no,
because
you tell
I'm
me.
dry. I'm dry out. Don't have
You're
anything.
dried out.
Well, no, there is
No.
actually one game that
Inspan?
has been part released from Stonemeyer Games. Have you seen that one?
Vantage?
There's no, it's called.
It's not Vantage?
By the way, you can see right now, Adri is not with us tonight.
Yeah.
He has some, yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm sad she's not here to, having that.
I know.
Uh,
She knows things.
yeah, she knows things.
She has the
She's
knowledge.
always Yeah, basically.
It's
Oh, it was from Stormy again. Let me see if I can find it right.
Finspan.
Ah, forget about that stupid game. The
Finspan
game
is
is
great.
Meyer. He
Definitely have it in
showed.
your collection.
Okay, Vantage. Vantage
Vantage.
is
I
the
told
game.
you it's Vantage.
You said that? No, you
I
didn't say
did.
that. No,
Go
of
back
course
five
not.
minutes.
Okay, well, no,
Okay, what is it
yeah,
about?
that
It looks
Vantage
promising. It looks promising.
looks promising. Yeah, so it says that after Wednesday. Oh, okay. What's a non-spoiler video explaining
Mm,
how actions work on the open world cooperative exploration game?
exploration.
Cooperative exploration game.
Cooperative. How
So
is that? Mm,
that's something that
mm.
uh, at the beginning was like, okay, that sounds and looks promising. Then he was like, okay, I'm not 100%, catched up by the game
Not as
description
good as
right now.
Finspan. That's what you're saying.
You know what? Um, I'm actually kind of confused and also a little bit scared of
What?
thinking on that game because I've been reading and listening a lot of comments about Finspan that I'm like, no,
Really?
no, why the game is not worth it. I don't want to.
You're gonna buy it. You're gonna
I don't
get
want to
it.
fall from it. I don't want to
You're
fall
gonna
for
fall
it.
for it.
Yeah. No, I don't
Everybody's
want
gonna
to
have
fall
it
for it.
except you.
That's okay. I don't want to fall
It's
for it
okay.
because
It's okay, Mask Maple. You know, things change.
no,
People move forward. Wingspan gets put on the shelf of
no, no,
forgetting,
no, 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 no. I will
and
never. I mean,
its
well,
spot is taken by Finspan, the new.
there is a reason why this game has been, you know, that popular and sold all around the globe and sold
I
that million
know.
of
It's
copies.
it's time to put it. It's time to put it away.
Well, no, I will not. I will not. And especially for a fish game. No,
Fish game, perfect.
I'm not. I'm not into
They
this.
should make
And
fish
okay, I
heaven.
have my chismecito. I have my chismecito right now, and I
Give
forgot
it to me.
almost forget
Almost
to
forgot.
mention about it. So it's gonna be a new Kickstarter coming up on March from AG.
AG.
And let me see if this is already some information.
Give it to me.
Is
AG.
Misfit, yeah, Misfit Heroes. There we go. Let me share with you that because
AG.
it's very interesting. Yeah. So the game is Misfit Heroes. Oh
Okay.
my god, what a fun game. What a really nice, neat game that I think is good enough. I'm not
Good
saying
enough.
it's
All
a
right. Perfect.
super.
Moving on. Good enough.
Let me tell you about it. Maybe you'll be like, okay, tell me more.
Good
So,
enough.
have you have
Let's
you
give
have
me
you ever played Canvas?
good
Good
enough.
enough. That will be
Put it
my
on the
new
front
my
page
new.
of the Kickstarter. This game is good enough. Oh my god.
We should make a short of this part of the video. I
I know,
think that's
right?
like good enough. There's a short.
Perfect. That's all you need. That's all it takes.
Um. So
I'm sure
yeah,
half my games in my
the
collection
game
are
is
good enough.
good, good, good enough.
There you go.
Because have you ever played Canvas? That was the question I was about to
No,
ask.
I have not.
You know the game Canvas. You know there is a game
What
called
you the
Canvas.
layers? Yes, the
Yeah,
layering.
exactly. They layer.
Yes.
So it's pretty much the same thing here. You have two
Okay.
different type of cards, some
Hmm.
transparent cards and some uh, landscape cards or the background cards. So
Okay.
the beauty of the game is every game, in order to make the game more, to have more replayability on the game,
Hmm.
you deal cards to each player, and
Hmm.
then that those players will take out the transparent cards and then re-accommodate the backgrounds on the transparent cards. So you will
Okay.
have new cards for the game. So
That's
if you're
interesting.
playing with four players and you deal five cards each, you will have 20 new cards for this new game, for this upcoming
That's
game.
that's uh that's an
So
interesting.
then you shuffle the cards back in the deck, and then you deal the cards as normal in a regular game. How you play the game? Very easy. As you can see, there are two. coins on top of the card.
Hmm. Hmm.
So at the beginning of the game, you will have a certain amount of coins, and in order to play a card, you have to pay for them. So you pay for the card, and then there are four different type of cards. Cards that will activate immediately, as long by the time you play the card, you activate the effect. There are some
Hmm.
conditioned cards that will depend on certain conditions to apply the effect on the cards, and pretty much the effects or the conditions are the position or where those cards are played on your tableau, because you are
Hmm.
only allowed to play a tableau of cards. Let me see, there's a picture here to illustrate, but basically you have a 4 by 4 grid. So you can only play cards adjacent to a one card that you already played, and a
Okay.
maximum 4 by 4. So
Okay.
um, yeah, so those some cards will depends on how many cards of certain type you have in your tableau already, or the positions, things like that. There are other cards that will give you points at the end of the game based on the conditions that they need to or you have to meet at the end of the game. Or there are some cards that require you to pay something in order to play them and then apply the effect. So there are four different type of effects in the game. But man, it's so entertaining the way you play these cards, because one thing is, at some point in these kind of games you feel frustrated when you have a hand of cards and you say like, no, I mean, I don't need those cards, or I think these cards are not good for me right now. So
Right.
one of the actions, instead of playing cards, you can get rid of cards and then regain more cards, and then decide which ones to keep, because you have a limit of cards that you can hold in your hand at the end of your turn. But
Hmm.
it's a really clever way to refresh your hand with cards that you really don't want, and to keep the ones
Mm.
you really want to play.
Okay.
So, and because the effects are always in change, maybe one game you think, I mean, you will never know if you will have a card back in the next game,
Mm.
because if that card changed at the beginning of the game, the effects and the reward will be different. So you have to adapt your strategy exactly at the moment you're receiving the cards. So it's not like
So
you're
very
learning to
tactical.
play the game so well. Exactly. You don't have like to memorize all the cards all the time, and
You
then it's
gotta
more
do
like,
your best
okay.
with what's given.
And that's also part of the beauty, because every
Yeah.
every every box of this game will
Hmm.
be a different game, because if I play with my copy, it will be probably different the way you configure or set up the first time your copy. So it
Right.
will not be two games alike
That's pretty
ever.
cool.
It's amazing. It's interesting. It's one innovative thing that I
Yeah.
found in this game. Really clever. The art is
How
fantastic. It's
balanced do you think it is? Because sometimes when you let people when you let components be like just mix and match however you want, I'm guessing you can create very very crazy
it's a
combination,
chaotic. It's a chaotic
which is
game
part of the
that,
charm, I'm guessing.
but it's part of the charm. You're right.
Mm.
Because even when you mix up the cards, I haven't found a card. I mean, I found a couple of cards that the combination are
Hmm.
really powerful. Like,
Okay.
wow, this card is crazy. But
Yep.
there are few of them, and there are some ways to not feel overwhelmed for those cards. I mean, maybe
Mm.
at the beginning, or you think, because also depend on other conditions during the game. So, in order to maximize the power of certain cards, powerful cards, you have to meet certain conditions, like have multiple of the same color, or have like certain amount of
Mm.
money, or blah blah blah.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
not like one card per cell by themselves they will create like a big mess. So
Right.
I think
Okay.
that's the way
So
this
there is
game is
some balance
balanced.
in there.
Exactly, exactly. Like I said, I think if you are expecting a game uh, when probably the lucky is not highly involved,
Mm-hmm.
probably you won't like the game. You probably will say like, ah, no, I'll pass for this game. But if you really want to play just for fun, you have this game just right because it's very fun. I
Mm,
mean, a part of the strategic way of playing and get rid of card and renew your hand of cards, etc., and the
mm-hmm,
effects,
mm-hmm.
it's really fun. Honestly, it's a
Hmm.
really fun game. You have a
Okay.
really nice time playing. And I think part of the game and the enchantment of this game
Mm-hmm,
is that at the time you are mixing up the cards and putting the combinations at the beginning
mm-hmm.
of the game, and even during the setup the first time, it was like crazy cards, combination of cards like this one. Let me see if I
Like the names.
can. Well, but yeah, like I don't know. Okay, we're back. We're back. Yeah, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay,
Cult
yeah. Sorry,
leader
yeah.
magician.
Technical issues again.
That's funny.
Exactly, like cool little magician here. You see, so
Yeah.
it's something that you can create or like this reptilian scientist. But maybe next time you have like a reptilian magician, and
Right.
then you see, so it's really stupid combinations like this one, famous golem.
Nice.
So you know, it's a
That's so
silly
cool.
game.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
silly game. It's really
is this like
clever the
a
way.
new designer, or is it a designer that we know?
No, I think it's the
Phil
designer is
Walker.
Phil Walker
I
Hardy,
don't
and
know.
well, it has
Well, he has a
CDs. Okay,
couple.
CDs. Okay.
Yeah.
Then my Shelfie, I have listened, I have heard about this game. Mission Suspect
Mm-hmm.
is a game we
Kill
have
and
in our
Go,
collection.
Sushi Go Party.
Planted, Planted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super Mega Lucky Box is another party
Okay.
game.
There's a couple of known games in there.
Yeah. Gizmos, Barren Park, Sushi Go Party, Emotet,
Yeah, the game sounds interesting.
Total, and Sushi Go. And I think his big hit was Sushi Go,
Probably. Yeah.
biggest hit, at
Yes.
least
Some
the
set
most famous
collection.
game. Yep. Yeah. Phil Walker Harding. There you go.
Nice.
So there you go.
All
That's my
right.
Chismecito. I'm glad that I
Excellent.
didn't forget about this one. So I'll be sharing some content because I'm part of the campaign, the Kickstarter campaign. Please don't add the good enough part. Just trying to explain that.
The front
Um,
page. Thank you very much.
thank you for no. I mean, uh,
No, it sounds great.
the thing that I love the most in this game, components art that I love.
Hmm.
Then the gameplay itself is just a little bit below that, just because this chaotic way of playing, and that
Hmm.
is something that probably will not um, have some players, engage with the system. But
Hmm.
like I said, if you're just playing or looking for a game that will give you fun during the game, I
Hmm.
think it's
How many
totally worth
players?
it.
I missed that part.
Four, four.
Nice.
It's up to
Okay.
four players.
The
Four
magic
players.
number.
Two for four, exactly.
Okay.
2 to 4 players. So yeah, I'll be sharing content because I really like the game. I really think it's worth it.
Hmm.
I'll probably have the coast, but I know for sure there will be two different versions. It will be like retail version or regular version, and there will be
Hmm.
a deluxe version of the game.
Okay.
I still have some details to know about
Sure.
the differences, but
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I'll share with you once the Kickstarter campaign is about to start or when it starts.
Okay.
So we can talk about the game a little bit more just to recap and try to see if people are or interested in looking
Yeah.
at the game.
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent. Good. Thank you for sharing.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Don't go just now. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for. Oh, I forgot. Just right quick. I have a couple of comments from our followers in
Yes.
our Instagram account.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing. That I almost forget that.
My goodness.
We have. So we have. I ask, or we ask on
Hmm.
our
Hmm.
Instagram account what games they're considering, essentials for their collection. So
Yep.
the Cajun Gamer, our dear PG,
Oh man,
PJ,
Obsession, Nemesis, and Setting,
mentioned
all
Obsession,
amazing
Nemesis,
games.
and SETI.
Special Nemesis, oof, oof, top,
SETI is, hot right
top.
now, and I think all of the players that have played the game are getting in love. And Obsession, I know for
Yes.
sure PJ is really into this game. It's a fantastic
Hmm.
game as well. And I also have I received the latest expansion that I really need to play. So
There
I'll
you
put it
go,
there. There. And then we have from my friend Random Meeple Raziel saying
Mr.
that
Random Nippon.
the Random Meeple mentioned
Dominion, Ticket
the
to
mini
Ride, Secret Hitler, Exploding Kinter's Party, The Wolves, The Wolves, The
and
Wolves, great game.
terraforming. Yeah. So here you go. Like some in getaway games like Ticket to Ride,
Yep.
all exploded kittens for the party and Secret Hitler as well. Then a medium to heavy games like
Hmm.
Wolves and Terraforming. I mean, yes, I think this is pretty much how you should build your collection. You know, mix and match, and a little bit of this, a little bit that. The shuffling,
Yep.
like
There you go.
like you shuffle cards.
Shuffle
There you go,
cards.
my friend. Thank you for being
Perfect.
here. Thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank you,
another
everyone
great episode.
who got to join
Uh,
us, and
we
we'll
want
see
to
us in the
apologize
future.
for the technical issues. We apologize
I'll
for
be
the technical
better
issues, but these
next
things
time.
happen. These things
It
happen.
happens. This is life.
This is life.
Yeah.
It's like the streaming. It was really with in synchrony with our feelings tonight. They were like, yeah, that's exactly the way we felt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
depressing. It was a depressing at some point.
It's
Um,
fine.
yeah,
I had fun
fine.
chatting about board
We had fun.
games
I love
every
fun
time.
as always. So
All
we'll
right.
see you here next week. Hope you
Let's do
see
it.
you here as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping
Take
by,
care.
and
Play
thank
some
you for
games.
those that will watch the episode later. So thank
Yeah.
you for being here. One
See you in the
more
future.
after game night. See you some point in the future. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
y'all.